Here's why I'm aggravated with U-Haul. Let me start from the beginning. First of all, they were great. The people we picked the U-Haul up from in St. James, Missouri, they were wonderful. Great. I was like, great. 9:30 p.m. on Tuesday night on my way to Granny's house, the headlight went out. I couldn't get a hold of U-Haul for nothing. And the recording just kept saying, go to the website. Well, we didn't have internet access at the location that we were at, so we couldn't do anything. And we were in the middle of nowhere. Okay, that was the first thing. The second thing was the next day when I called about the headlight. When I finally got a hold of a human being, they told me I needed to go online to get it fixed. So I said, okay. So I went and I got online and it said the web page was not available. And I was pretty aggravated. So I just called the St. James place that we got our U-Haul from, and he was really, really helpful. And he told us that U-Haul would reimburse us for the headlight if we just went ahead and did it. I said, well, that sounds a lot easier than trying to get a hold of their so-called roadside assistance. So that was pretty aggravating. Then we get to Florida. Oh, no. Let me back up. So the next day, Joe calls the storage facility, which is a U-Haul storage facility, and he says that he's coming to sign the paperwork so that we can get in after closing time, because it was an indoor storage facility, supposed to be climate controlled. And when he called, they said, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. Well, when he got there and he waited in a very long line, got up to the counter, they told him he couldn't sign. It had to be me because it was in my name. So I was really aggravated about that, and I called and it just kept ringing, and finally went through to some corporate office. So I had let them know what was going on. They said that someone from the facility would call me. So they did eventually call a couple hours later, and they said that he could do that, and sorry for the misunderstanding, and yada yada. So the next day, Friday, which was yesterday, he went there and they said that he couldn't do it. And he said, no, you can't do this to me again. So they looked up and they're like, oh yeah, I remember talking to your wife yesterday. Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and do the paperwork. So he got the paperwork done, and he said they've had some issues getting here. They're going to be a little late getting here, and wanted to know if we could get in after hours sometime. You know, maybe there's a code or something we can get in after closing time. They said there's a $10 charge to get in after closing time. So, okay. So, paid the $10, and then they tell him the elevator's not working. Now, keep in mind, we have 2 storage units, and they are the 2nd floor, so we really need an elevator to get our stuff up there. And so he tells me this, and I'm starting to really fume here. I'm getting very aggravated. They charged him, I know it's only $10, but they charged him for after hours access, and then the elevators broke down, and we can't even get our stuff in our storage unit anyways. So it was a big waste of time and a waste of money. Hey, $10 will wash a load of laundry. But I'm really aggravated with U-Haul, and so today we're going to try and get a different storage facility. It's not going to be climate controlled, which the one at U-Haul, I mean, it's like 86 degrees in there, so I guess that's their idea of climate controlled. It's not too bad, I guess, considering we're in Florida and it's probably going to be like 104. But I'm just really aggravated. Little things adding up, you know. But hopefully we'll get this other storage facility. It's not even U-Haul related, and maybe it'll be better. So that's what's going on today. All right, here's our big storage unit. We are not using that other place because they screwed us over. But this one seems pretty good, and They are unloading the truck now, just the very beginning of it. Look at all that stuff. And what is the temperature?
A lot.
Exactly. It's pretty warm. I love it though. I'm just soaking it in.
We've only been working for like
5 minutes.
And I'm
Yeah.
pouring. Alright.
Humidity's getting to Levi, but my skin just soaking it in.
Let's get it. Sit.
Got the U-Haul finished just in time. The storms are rolling in. Pretty neat looking. Even Belle said it was cool. Didn't it? Really neat clouds. Looks like the dark clouds are like right over our camper. U-Haul in the beginning was pretty good. They were great. The guy in St. James that we got the truck from was really great, really helpful. He was even helpful when it had nothing to do with him anymore when we were on the road, and I was trying to get a hold of somebody about the headlight. He was very helpful with that, which I did get my money back on that headlight, but I'll get to that later. For now, I'm gonna say, where do I start? Okay, so you all know that we were not able to use the U-Haul storage facility because the elevator was broke down. So when we got there Friday night, we had nowhere to go with all of our stuff. So we had to wait till morning, and thankfully the campground let us park our U-Haul truck in the public parking area overnight, and they said it just had to be gone by 6 a.m. So, wow, that's pretty early. So, but we did it. We got it done. The storage facility that we have our stuff in now, they didn't open till 9 a.m. So we just we went and got breakfast, and we waited around, and 9 o'clock came, and the lady was so helpful. She was really just wonderful. And we got a big storage facility for the outside that we could just back the truck up to, unload it, and then we got one climate controlled, and it was a real climate control. It was really nice and cool in there. In fact, while we were unloading, we used it to kind of cool off because it was pretty warm, so it was nice to go in there and cool off every once in a while when we were unloading. So that storage facility was great. We were almost done unloading the truck, and this man in a U-Haul uniform walks up to us when we were almost done with the truck, and he says, "Are you about done with that truck?" And I said, "We're almost done with it. We just have a couple of things left, and then it's all yours. You can have it." So we hurried up and got the truck unloaded. We just kind of grabbed everything and set it on the ground outside the storage facility so we could get the truck unloaded. And so Dad went with me to turn the keys in and let them go over the checklist on the truck with us. And we got in there, and there was 2 U-Haul people in the storage facility that we were at. And the lady was doing stuff on her tablet, and she was, "Oh, you went 300 and something miles over what you paid for." I was like, "Are you sure?" I was really careful with the miles. Like, we kept up with it, and I looked at Dad, and they looked at me like, "That shouldn't be right." And she said, "Well, let me check again." She goes, "Oh, my bad. You're in the good. You're fine." Oh, good. Phew. So she's going over some other things. I guess they were looking for ways to charge me more. I don't know. Pretty aggravated, so I'm pretty negative about U-Haul right now. The guy kind of talks real low, and he's like, "We gotta charge him for another day." Okay, that really set me off, because I said, "You want to charge me for another day?" I said, "Let me tell you something. I would have had that U-Haul unloaded last night if your elevators were working, your facility wasn't broke down." I said, "But how was I supposed to unload everything up to the second floor when you don't even have an elevator? It's broke down. I said, not only that, you charged my husband when he was there to do the paperwork. After trying to do the paperwork 2 times, you charged him the full $186. Then you charged him $10 after hours. And then you tell him the elevators broke down. I said, I don't think you need to charge me for another day. I shouldn't have to pay for another day when I could have unloaded it Friday night if your facility wasn't broke down. I said, our stuff's not even in your storage facility. You shouldn't charge me at all. That's why we're at this place. So they were, it was a little bit back and forth, and she even said, well, when your husband booked the storage facilities, the elevator was working. I said, so you want to charge me for a facility I couldn't even get into to put my stuff into, but you think you should still charge me for that, even though I didn't get to use your facility because your elevator was broke down. I need my money back for those facilities, and I need my $10 back that you charged us to get in there after hours because it was useless. It was awful. We went back and forth a little bit, and Dad was even getting aggravated at U-Haul. He's like, that ain't right. You don't even be charging her. We didn't even get to use it, and Dad had my back. So they ended up they worked things out. And they said they would refund our money, and they did. They eventually refunded our money, and they refunded what we put in for the headlight that we had to fix. So just to round off the review, U-Haul sucks. Thumbs down. Don't use them if you don't have to. Cheaper's not always better in this situation. Was a lot more added stress, and it was terrible. But I got my money back. I got a real climate control storage facility, not U-Haul related, and it was easier to unload the stuff when we could just back up the truck. And I have to say, things worked out in the end. No thanks to U-Haul, but it worked out in the end, so that's pretty awesome. This man in a unicorn? I don't know where that came from. This man this man in a I'm trying to say U-Haul. It keeps coming out as unicorn. I don't know why. I'm a little tired. Okay. So this man in the U-Haul. Okay, you know how when you screw up a word and then you try to get all serious and say it and you just keep thinking of the wrong word? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this later. I don't think I can vlog right now.